can get a little love to Sil Nation.
Hey guys,
Zach says shout out
love this channel.
to Sil Nation.
Stay tuned.
It's Coffee Talk with sylabdul. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe now.
Wake up in the morning, eyes crusty, heavy yawning. My phone keep going off, so I shut off the alarm and then head into the kitchen to get the coffee brewing. French roast with French vanilla, my own French revolution. Next movement is to tune into Coffee Talk with Sil. My girl starts a yap if I tell her she needs to chill. I hear enough of the yapping from all of these goofy shills. Plus I'm trying to be informed of whatever's the latest deal, for real. I am a FIFA caffeine, coffee gotta have some cream. Fetch a hazel beef for me while I listen to these kings. Silla Mikey be the team. Subscribe to Sylabdul Inc. Wiki got CD magazine. Tell me what's behind the scenes, the other side of the ravine. Is it obscene or is it obscure? I am not sure. The rich is the rich off the poor. That ain't no doubt to my core. We just keep asking for more. They keep supplying demand in the store. As long as it makes it to shore, I know for sure. They'll just keep on making more. Well, I most treasure that piece I have been transformed into corporate Hollywood whore.
What's up? What's up? This is sylabdul here for Coffee Talk. So we talk about the latest in CBM and geek news, plus the business behind it. Last Thursday went so good. I was like, yo, the schedule's looking solid. We gotta get in here and make Thursday morning a thing. Coffee Talk is back. We actually keeping a schedule for this past month is amazing. It's amazing, the potential. Much love to Sil Nation. Y'all see the topics coming up here. Michael 2, the sequel seems to be official. We're going to talk some Michael box office numbers. DCU. Now, this segment may upset James Gunn fans. I just put like a warning. This may upset James Gunn's fans. Man, it's just time we really be honest about how this is looking. James Gunn's activity online, we got to talk about it. And then obviously Restore, Zack Snyder is continuously keeping DC in the conversation to the point where something just has to happen now. Like, this is beyond memory lane. We'll talk more about that as well too. So again, those are the topics. Yeah, this is going to upset the gunner. I'm just going to let them know off rip. Like, I've been very fair to James Gunn's DCU 2025. And my expectations as a DC fan was for him to come correct 2026, because the comics are doing great. DC comics are doing great. There's going to be some really cool animated DC stuff coming out this year as well. Films, series, whatever. Live action DC is the weak link, and this is me just talking as a DC fan. I have my biasness, but this ain't a good look, and we're going to talk about it today, man. This is getting borderline. It's getting wild. Now, before we get to the main topics, we had a few things kind of drop on my plate this morning, so I want to address these things before the top 3 topics. Now, has anyone out there heard of a film called Desert Warrior? Desert Warrior. This is a film that's it's out there. It's starring Anthony Mackie. So you got Cap, Sam Wilson. I know some people don't like him being called Cap, but it's Sam Wilson and Anthony Mackie. I mean, his what was it? Brave New World. It's an okay film. Really didn't deserve a full theatrical rollout. That was a streaming project at best. But with that aside, this film starring Anthony Mackie, Desert Warrior, there's a reason why you probably haven't heard of this film. It's several reasons, but let's cut to the chase here. Desert Warrior is a Saudis backed film production. And The original budget for this film was $70 million. They tried to shoot this like 5 years ago, 2021. They ran into some COVID delays, and then the budget ended up going up to like $150 million. The Saudis, the PIF team, has heavily backed this film. They actually shot this film in Saudi Arabia. This is a template of them trying to just get their name into Hollywood. And with this film, it's by the director of Rise of the Planet of the Apes. What's his name? Is it Rupert? I think that's his name. Let me see. I forgot his name that quick. I think his name is Anthony Rupert or something like that. Let me see. Rupert Wyatt. He's again the director of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. That's the one with James Franco. That's the one that I like. Rupert Wyatt, whatever his name. I liked his Planet of the Apes better than the follow-ups of the Matt Reeves Planet of the Apes. I didn't really enjoy. I enjoyed his Rise better than the other Planet of the Apes films. So I think he's a solid director. You got the Saudis again, the PIF putting their money into this film. They shot it in location in Saudi, and they tried to attach some Hollywood names to it. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, as you would notice, it's getting reviewed bombed by critics because it's this whole push against the global business. And again, I know why, just in general, why people kind of cringe at like, oh, are we going to allow the Saudis and international people to come in and take over Hollywood? Well, that's not the case here. Global business has been going on. This is just another example. Now, my original question, why haven't you heard about this? Because the Saudis, they made this film just to get their name out there in Hollywood, and they spent no marketing dollars on it. They spent no marketing. Like, it's insane. Like, they literally just made this film just to show they can do a Hollywood production in Saudi. And they put it out there. Now, I'm not worried about the critics' reviews because, as we learned with the Michael situation, you can't even trust critics with their agendas, and they want to bring up, their own agendas. The audience score is mixed for this film, and it's only in a fourth of the screenings. Like, usually you can get like 4,000 screens for these films. This only has like 1,000 screens. It's not even in. Yeah, perfect. That's exactly sums up what's going on here. My nearest theater is not even carrying this film. So, do I want to go like 10 miles away to watch it? I'm not that desperate to see this, but like you said right here, Nightmare Visions, this is throwing their hat in the ring. A part of the leaked Paramount deal that we talked about extensively on this channel last year. Now the deal is, signed. We'll see, once it passes, possibly this summer. The terms of the deal for the Saudis was in Abu Dhabi and Qatar was you'll be able to use any of the WB or DC IPs. You'll be able to get a film. You can film it in your country and have a world premiere. Now, it's come out since then. People in Hollywood are realizing the Saudis and the other Arab nations, they want some of the big IP. It's not saying they're taking over the IP. Again, people want to pretend to be stupid to frame some agenda. The Arab nations, they will not have any seat on the board. They are not running the company, but per the terms of the deal that they signed, they'll be able to use any of the IPs. It could be like a spinoff, Elseworld. Harry Potter is another IP that's being floated around that one of them wants to use. Maybe it's Abu Dhabi. I'm not sure. We know what the Saudis want. But the whole point, again, I'm bringing up Desert Warrior, not saying this is a great film. It's getting mixed reviews from audiences. The audience is like, But it has a solid director. And Anthony Mackie, yeah, he's collecting those checks. And I'm interested. I'm intrigued to see the film. It was filmed on location out there in Saudi Arabia. and they're just showing we can do a film production out here. It was supposed to have been a lower budget film, but again, the COVID delays, ballooned the price. And it's only again in a fourth of the theaters out there. So this is not about making money. It's exactly what Nightmare Vision says here, throwing their hat in the ring. It's out there. I mean, again, people want to, slam their head against the wall about global business. It's already here, y'all. And now this is them kind of their test run, seeing if they can handle a Hollywood production, because they're going to do more now. Now they're minority stake owners in WB, by extension DC. Definitely, this is going to be very interesting. And I'll probably end up catching this like on streaming. According to what I heard, it's going to have a short theatrical run. It'll probably be, I think Apple TV is selling it like the digital. You can get the digital copies pre-ordered, and then it'll probably end up running on Netflix, some kind of international base, either Netflix or maybe Amazon. I'll probably catch this on streaming because I do just want to see the potential of the Saudi production fully shot in their country and just see what they got, right? And again, this is the template. They're getting Hollywood directors, Hollywood actors. Now that they have a piece of Warner Bros. And DC, they're going to do more, right? So that's what this is about. This is probably a crappy film, but I support the vision of what they're trying to do, and we all know where we want this to ultimately end up, and that is obviously SnyderVerse, right? So just wanted to get that out there real quick. Also, too, I meant to bring this up. Yeah, definitely. Let's see what y'all saying in the chat. They got their foot in the door like Barry and ZSGL. That's all this is about. This, again, I'm not saying, support Saudi Arabia and all this. It's like, no, this is business. It's a means to an end. This is their test run right there. It's already happening right in front of us. So now that they can access WBIP, they're going to try to do it bigger. Shoot that Nightmare movie out there in Saudi Arabia. Why not? Why can't they? Right? It's per the terms of their deal that they can do it. So I'm just saying. And like I said, one of the other countries, they want to do Harry Potter, just, reportedly. Different rumors out there. So I guess I'll touch on this real quick since we're talking about the Saudis. And let's see, I still got to queue up something on my side here. But I get the nervousness. I get those questions every time I do a stream talking about Saudis. Every time I do the Saturday show, it's always someone, and I'm not, discouraging people voicing their concerns. But it always seems to be like a little pushback, like, do we really want them to have a foot in the door? Like, no, everything's in writing. They're not going to overstep anything. It's all regulated. And that's really, I think, the least of our worries. Yes, a jail in the deserts of Saudi. And that's why I want to watch this Desert Warrior film, Jovic, because I just want to see what they got out there. I just want to see the scale because they shot it all out there, right? So I'm looking forward to it. Now, Shen says here, people are nervous about the article THR dropped where that's Paramount Skydance is trying to get the FCC to approve a higher percentage of foreign ownership. Yeah, so, and I'll briefly touch on that because I did see people, again, saying Paramount wants basically to allow, right now they have like a, was it 24 billion of 111 billion. That's about what, a fifth? It's about 20% right now. And they want to allow it. David Ellison wants to allow it to the point where they can get up to 49% of ownership. No board seat, no controlling vote in the country, in the company. But it's all about, again, when you become a billionaire, how do you remain a billionaire? You don't use just your money. You use other people's money. And that's all David Ellison is doing. And his daddy is helping Larry Ellison. They're saying, yeah, we're going to go into the funding this company, this purchase, and they're going to be funding projects. But we want to allow you to get like 49% of stake in this, and then we're going to take funding from you as well too. So it'll be a 50-50 really type thing. And all that it is for the case of how we're going to fund these projects. That's really all that is. It isn't about controlling the company. This government is not going to allow a foreign entity to own a Hollywood studio. They're not going to allow it. They'll allow them to own like video game companies, electronic arts, things like that, WWE, or things of that nature. They're not going to let them take over Hollywood. But the Ellisons, they're going to allow to get to close to the line as possible for business reasons. And that's how they're going to fund all these films. The Saudis, last year, they was talking about just putting in $7 billion for this deal. Then it became $10 billion. Now I believe they're accounting for like $14 billion now. Like, they're serious about this deal. They're serious about getting money. And with that Desert Warrior film, again, they're showing you what they want to do. Bring Hollywood to Saudi. So now if they can get a piece of that DC, just to access DC, you could see them bringing Zack Snyder and the crew out there to Saudi Arabia and shooting the Nightmare movie. I'm so confident they're going to do it now. All right. So, and again, that's why I brought up that Desert Warrior. Again, not even endorsing the film, but I just want to see. I want to see what they did with this film in Saudi Arabia. Let's see. Let's catch up what y'all saying in the chat. Yeah, people are nervous about global business, and it's all right. It's all right. It's already here, just like AI. That's what I was saying on social media. People want to say, "Oh, AI! I want to push back against AI." AI is already here, right? So it's just about how you use it as a tool. They're already using it for post work on films. They're cutting the work of VFX workers like in half. So they're like at 50% already. So these VFX workers, what you need to do is learn how to implement AI in your craft. And you're going to get more productions, lesser time, but there's going to be more productions, more films coming out each year. That's why David Ellison said, I'm going to do 30 films a year, because they can speed up their production, the post work. You see? So it's already here, y'all. Global business, AI. And this is what it is. As I wonder if Saudi Snape will still be as controversial. You know what's funny? It's funny you say that, because, again, the Saudis' approach, they're not trying to rock the boat, right? And again, I don't know enough about the Harry Potter thing to, I mean, I started learning about like why the outrage is there of them messing up Snape, or swapping him. It kind of affects the story. But the Saudis, if they was to do a Harry Potter, they would keep it as original as close to the original as possible. They don't want to rock the boat with these IPs, just like with DC. Okay, we already got a Justice League. Zack Snyder Justice League is already out there. Let's just use that. Plus they're fans of Zack Snyder. Let's not rock the boat here, right? What worked before? Let's just use that, right? If you're using an IP, I'm really looking forward to, again, how they use it, and these other nations as well too. That Desert Warrior film is more important than people think, man. This may be a crappy film, but it's showing us the path. It really is. Let's see. Let's catch up here. Oh, we got a new drop from Zack Snyder. Okay, appreciate it. Shout out to South Cali. I'll cue that up for the restore section of this show. That test screen. I think he post that before, South Cali. I know you be keeping your eyes on these drops. It's interesting. I think it was late last year. Zack Snyder posted the video. So today is Gal Gadot's birthday. And so Zack Snyder's been posting stuff, and he got the test screening with her and Ben Affleck. Zack posted it again today. Very interesting. Very interesting with that. Yeah, South Cali, didn't he post this before? I find it very interesting. He did it again today. But we'll talk about that more later, for sure. Interesting stuff. It was Gal that uploaded. Okay, gotcha. Gal uploaded it first, and then now Zach's doing it today. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. So that's one thing with the Saudis, again, keeping our eye open for that overall. And we'll get to that in a minute here. Another thing to drop before we get to the main topics, again, a few things kind of dropped today, just like that Zack Snyder post. My Adventures with Superman just had a very interesting update today. Season 3, if you've been keeping up with this show, they have been doing like original wrinkles to Superman lore. I didn't mind some of the creative choices they had. You already know Music City, like when they dropped this picture, I was like, oh no, like again, growing up, if you grew up in the 90s as a DC fan and you know about the death of Superman, you know about the reign of Superman. That's why I really liked how Superman and Lois, they did their own original version of Death of Superman. And a little bit of, they have wrinkles of reign, but I liked how they did it this show, being original, but I really like what they've been doing with Superman. He has Supergirl in season 2. In fact, I got to rewatch this series here, but they dropped this saying it's coming out this summer, season 3, premiering this summer. You got Cyborg Superman. Okay, you got Cyborg Superman in here, which that's exciting in itself. Obviously, again, is inspired by the Reign of Superman comics that was after the death of Superman. And Jessica Cruz will be in season 3 because we learned, it's been put out there that Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, she's going to have her own spinoff animated show. So they're going to introduce her in season 3, My Adventures with Superman. Very excited for that. Again, it's premiering June 13th. So again, that's why I said I was like, DC 2026, the comics are hot right now. You even got the Lego Batman game coming. You got some animated stuff like this, My Adventures with Superman. You got the Nightfall animated film. It just is live action stuff, man, that I'm nervous about. Everybody else is cooking accordingly. It's like Gunn. We need you to just keep up with everything else DC, man. Because this is great. This is great to hear about that. Now, when you hear Reign of Superman, again, just growing up as a DC Comics fan, you're like, okay, Reign of Superman, great. But doesn't the death of Superman has to happen first, right? According to the showrunner, they're saying it's less death of Superman, more about what's a Superman. The fun thing about Reign of Superman is that it's all these imposters who have the same power but different values. So this Superman, they already dealt with the multiverse. Maybe they look into a world where Superman did die, right? A version of Superman died, and then you get to see this Reign of Superman. We'll see. I trust the creative team, so I'm not too worried about it. But I'm interested to see it. I mean, this is one of the greatest ideas in Superman lore, the Reign of Superman. I mean, you had Steel, right? And he's already in the show, I believe. I think so. He was already in the show. But you got the new Superboy, you got the Cyborg Superman, you got the Eradicator, which was my favorite of the 4 back then. I remember when, if y'all remember back in the day when those comics came out, and each of them had their own cover and their own story, and I gravitated to Eradicator. He had the visors on immediately, and then it comes to find out he was just there to kind of protect Superman, right? He just kind of went a little bit too far at times, but I enjoyed that whole run, man. So I'm a big kid again, seeing anything Reign of Superman overall. Let's see what we're saying in the chat here. I need to get into Adventures of Superman. Yeah, check it out. Check when you get a chance. Check out. I think it's on HBO Max. And I think it's worth a watch. Give it a couple episodes. Like I always give it 2 to 3 episodes if it catches you. If it doesn't, it's all good. It's now on HBO Max. I thought it was on there. Let me see. Let's see. They could have licensed it to someone. My Adventures. No, it's on there. It's on HBO Max. Yeah, good stuff. I'm ready. I'm ready for the summer of DC. The brawl of Superman. Like, let's go. No, I haven't seen any other Lanterns in the first 2 seasons, so this is going to be cool. And again, this is an Elseworld show, so this isn't just your straight up, tit for tat Superman lore. And everyone does their own original visions of these characters. That's why I never understood the fuss of Zack Snyder's version when he was using comic runs to inspire him. It wasn't exactly page to screen, panel to screen. His original takes. That's what all this stuff is. That's what Tim Burton Batman was. That was an original take. Just elements of Batman. No one had a problem until Zack Snyder does it. Right? It's insane. It's insane. But this is an Elseworld world, and they have multiverse stuff all in it. Like, it's a very interesting show, man. It really is. I may have to, once this drops this summer, if my schedule holds right, I'll figure out a way to review it. Yeah, Gunn took some ideas from my Superman in the chat. Yeah, Gunn took elements from My Adventures of Superman. The whole conquering Jor-El. Gunn took that from this show. Now, Gunn did a weird twist with the whole harem thing. That wasn't in the show, but that's wild. Let's see. Oh, okay, I just caught up with you, Amari. Yeah. I got to catch up with the chat. I'm way behind now. It's worth checking out, y'all. It's definitely worth checking out. Yeah, Gunn used a suit. He used the Jor-El angle of conquering, which isn't a brand new idea. Just, again, Gunn did the weird harem joke. I was just like, okay, Gunn, you had to force your soft porn background into this somehow. But it was done better on this show. I'm just going to be honest with you. So interesting. Again, that kind of popped up before I went live. So I had to discuss that. That was very necessary with that. So yeah, he had to make that joke weird for no reason. Good. It's like, just chill out, bro. And we'll get to Gunn in just a moment more with that. Now, let's get to our topics here as we just warming up this morning. Michael 2. It appears to be that they are officially now. Everyone. There's been so many stories out there. It's been made clear they already shot footage for part 2. Now it was reasons why they thought they was going to make a longer film or pack more story in one film. Then they had some legal issues. They had to take stuff out, get things kind of cleared, or save it for a possible sequel. Maybe the rumor is it could be 2, 3, or even 4 films we can end up with Michael. If you haven't seen it already, if you are a music fan, not just saying or if you're a Michael fan, no, just if you're a fan of music, because if you just don't like music, then you're not gonna like anything. But if you're a fan of music, you need to watch this film. And I think overall, obviously we know in the story in this film, it's the origin story of Michael Jackson, right? And it ends right in the middle of the whole Bad tour. So that's late 80s. So there's plenty of story. You got the Dangerous era. You got the History era. That's with the whole Janet Jackson Scream. You got to get Janet Jackson involved eventually with this. But according to the director, Antoine Fuqua, who did an excellent job in the film, it's some of the best editing in the film, like Nolan level editing. They have stuff shot up, I think it's like mid 90s. Like they already have footage. And so they're going to use probably like a third of that film already. That's already there. And then it's just going to fill out the story. So part 2, just long story short, I think part 2, you're talking about finishing up the bad era, getting to the allegations, and then the dangerous era. If they're smart, you keep that as part 2. Wait for history and even possibly because it's so much more with Michael Jackson on the behind the scenes. He ended up owning half of Sony Music Publishing. There's a whole behind the scenes battle there, and just quite honestly, that's why some people think Michael was taken out. That it was someone they planted someone allegedly to take out Michael because he gained too much power, having half of Sony Music Publishing, owning that's too much power, right? And you're dealing with Illuminati type stuff at that point. And I don't want to get too far into that, but it's like Michael was really challenging the entire spectrum of just power in this world. That's how crazy this got. And I know they can't go too far into that, but you're going to need a couple more films. You're definitely going to need a couple more films to talk about this. Yeah, he was going to buy Marvel before he passed. He would have owned Marvel. So you're talking about, because when he passed away, was it 2009? So before Disney would have bought Marvel, Michael Jackson was going to do. So did Disney allegedly? I don't want to get too conspiracy. I don't want to talk too much about that. But Music City says here, would love to see them address him acquiring Sony for sure. He definitely was insanely powerful. He owned a lot of people's favorites. He had the Beatles, Eminem. He owned Eminem's catalog. You see how crazy that is? How much power Michael had? Someone had to take him out. Like that was just, bro. But that background story would be so intriguing if they can go as far as they can with that. Chris Brown in the chat. I thought the movie was incredible. Saw it twice. It hit even harder the second viewing. One of my favorite films of the year thus far. The audiences love it. The critics, they had their agenda. They were paid not to like it, allegedly. They was talking about stuff that wasn't in the film. Again, they copied each other's reviews. That's what critics do, if people don't realize it. They copy each other's reviews. And that's why you saw everything kind of sound the same. Well, it's not addressing anything. Well, the accusations don't start till part 2. Then you can get your trashy tabloid stuff in part 2. Okay, critics. But at that point, no one's going to care what critics have to say. I've never cared. But this just doubles down more. That's why I don't go into, critics score and Rotten Tomatoes score. No, it's about audience scores, audience word of mouth. We determine what makes money. It's the audience. The critics, like at this point, they're just noise. That's really where it's at. Yeah, he owns Sony Music. He didn't own Sony Films. So the Sony Music Publishing. And and see these, and again, people could have criticisms of the film, and that's, it's rare a film is 100% perfect, right? But don't you feel, Amari and others, a lot of the stuff they kind of skated over, we kind of got in that old TV film, American Dream. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Antoine Fuqua, the director, he made this film kind of saying, like, well, in the 90s, you had that American Dream film. I think it was like 2 or 3 films back then? And you had a lot of little Michael in that one. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just kind of how I took it. Like, I'm sitting there watching the film, and I'm like, okay, you didn't get a lot of Jackson 5, but I remember in that TV film, you got a lot of it, So, but I get it. If people wanted more of that, I get it. I need a drum for jokes like that. He You. Come on, man. Oh, man. That's hilarious. Yeah, Mike was a gangster out here, man. Mike was a G. People forget. Yeah, they let that voice fool him. Like he dancing and stuff and the glitter. It's like, no, Michael was about his business. That's why he left the Jackson 5. Michael was like, hey, I got so many ideas. I mean y'all family, but I gotta go be great. Like I gotta get this out. You know what I'm saying? Michael's about his business. No, Michael would not have owned Sony Films. He owned Sony Music, half of Sony Music, not films. He would not have done Spider-Man, but he would have got Marvel. So that would have been interesting if Michael owned Marvel. That just would have been very interesting. That's wild. That's wild. So with that, let's get into how this film, because we know it's done enough to warrant the sequel. So let's talk a little bit about the box office. Box office battle. Box office battle. Talking about the numbers behind all this, right? So far, I mean, it had a great opening. 97 million domestically, nearly 200 million worldwide global box office opening weekend. Right now it's at 237. The numbers from yesterday probably didn't hit yet. It had a huge Tuesday, like 11 million alone on a Tuesday. It may have copied that for Wednesday because a lot of theaters out there, they're doing like discount Wednesdays now. It was $5 Tuesdays. Now they got discount Wednesdays. So I think it's going to be a big turnout for this film with the audience score A-. That's obviously that's very good. Anything A is good, as we learned in school. And I think some of the criticisms, like people said, they wish it was a little more in certain areas. So I totally understand that. It's going to have the legs. It's having a great weekday run already, and going into this weekend. Because with that 237, I meant to mention their break-even numbers around 500 million. They already got half of that in under a week. Okay, so your break-in moment, is when you just cross over to just straight profit. They're going to be in there probably a week from today. It's going to be straight profit for this film because you already got half of it in less than a week. Is wild. Pretty wild, right? So I think they're going to hit that number. Now, going into this weekend, again, we saw the number 97 million for first weekend. Second week projections is looking to have a 50% or less drop. So so potentially, within 40 to 50% hold, between 50 to 60% hold for the film. So it's going against a new premiere, The Devil Wears Prada Part 2. Now, this film, again, is coming out with a projection of 100 million. It's going to be heavily skewed women audience. That's how a lot of these films break off, is women and children. You get the families, you get the women in your films, in your theater. You're going to make money. That's what Michael did its first weekend. According to the demographic numbers for Michael, that first weekend, 60% of the audience was women to see Michael. He brings the girls to the yard. Okay, Michael still got him fainting and everything. Still, that's just his nephew doing it to him. But it's like, so women were showing out like crazy. Obviously, the black audience, we're gonna support the brother from Gary, Indiana. So black folks showed up, but also close behind was the Latinos and whites. Big time supported the Michael film. I think what's going to happen is the demographic of women is still going to hold good, even with Devil Wears Prada. I still think Michael can hold good because now you get women now, they can pull up double features. Watch Devil Wears Prada, watch Michael, as well. So I don't think it's going to skew too much of the audience. And then what did I say as far as the demographics? Black audience, followed by Latino and whites. they'll probably support Michael more than Devil Wears Prada, right? Also, too, early word on Devil Wears Prada, that film's not that hot. I'm just going off what they're saying out there. All I'm saying is Michael can definitely get closer to that 60 million projection and eat a little bit into the Devil Wears Prada Part 2, in my opinion. So, interesting. I think it's going to hold up well. And because of the audiences that already showed up. And yeah, family film. So I think it's going to hold well. I mean, like I said, you have the overlapping of women audience, but they love Michael too. So we could be talking about a situation where, again, it's going to be closer to 60 million, and it may be a story of Devil Wears Prada falls short of 90, and that's going to be a huge story if it does. So we'll see. But I think both films are going to do well. And I'm looking forward to seeing Michael again, because I'm not watching Devil Wears Prada. I'm going to go see Michael again. That's where we're at. So good stuff. Music is a huge part of my life. I talk about it with everyone I know. Never met a person who dislikes Jackson. Yeah. I think when you get to like event level pop culture moments, that's what you got with Michael. Some films kind of come and goes, does its thing, but then when you're taking over the theater, like Minecraft, we could be looking at another Minecraft situation. Right now, after that first weekend, they're saying, okay, this film is going to make profit. It'll probably get to 700 million. But after the second weekend, those numbers could go up. I think you could be talking about a Minecraft situation. Now, what I mean by that, where maybe you didn't expect to be $1 billion coming into. I mean, some of y'all did. I saw people saying Michael's going to make $1 billion, but people said that for Superman 2025. Like, people always say stuff making $1 billion. I can't just go off that, okay? But when you see the crowd and the audience, they're dressing up like Michael. My sister went in there. She had her Michael Jackson glove. My older sister, and she's there, with her family and everything like that. So it's like when you see it taking over the audience, that's transcending everything, and you're gonna make money. This is what happened with the first Black Panther. People dressed up, different tribal gear, and things like that. And that film did great worldwide, right? Again, Minecraft, the whole chicken jockey thing. Now with Michael, this is the next event film. Comparing this like with the Super Mario Galaxy. Had fun with Super Mario Galaxy. It's not taking over pop culture though. It's great. It's a great entry. I'm looking forward to the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, Mario Cinematic Universe, or Nintendo Cinematic Universe. But it's not taking over theaters like Michael. There's levels to this, and I think Michael got it. Right? I would not be surprised if this film does like Minecraft and gets close to $1 billion. I would not be surprised. Yeah, Mario Galaxy. Let's see. Let's look at the numbers here. And I should have do I have a comparison? I don't have a comparison. I'll just say it real quick. Mario Galaxy is about 850 worldwide. That's nothing to sneeze at, all right? Like, let's not worry about Mario right now. Like, 850 million, they'll be happy with 900 now. But then too, when you're comparing it to the original I think made like 1.2 billion. So yeah, you kind of see a little slide back there. You do have to gauge, okay, where do we drop off at with the audience, right? Now it's still hanging in there really well. They're getting nearly 10 to 15 million this second weekend. So it's going to get over 900 million, but that still is a fair thing to be like, well, okay, we're going to get more films dropping. They still have some cushion for the month of May, because then it's a wrap when June hits, so I think Mario Galaxy, again, I had fun with the film. I did like the first one better. I still watch the first one, I just throw it on at times. Galaxy, it's probably too much Bowser. That's probably the only real complaint I have. It's like, too much screen time, kind of away from the Mario Brothers or Star Fox, which was just cool. So Mario 3, they got to kind of stay more solid, following the brothers. So good stuff here. So let's go forward with the topics today. Coffee Talk, real quick. Definitely smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. Thursdays, Coffee Talk. We doing it. Yeah, no Donkey Kong. They should have had that in there for sure. I agree. Let's make the Gunners. I'm just gonna be honest, like James Gunn fans, you're not gonna like this segment. You're not gonna like this segment because it's we gotta talk. As I talked about my expectations for 2026 DC and how everything, again, comics, games, animated, everything is simmering for DC to have a big year, to respect the brand, push limits, whatever. And I just keep getting these situations where you look at DCU, and it's like, Gunn, this isn't what I want DC to be. What's going on with James Gunn? Now, what am I talking about? Okay, so a couple examples. Recently, because I didn't even know it was some big Twitter war about James Gunn, Superman, and how Lex Luthor's supposed to be this great, mad genius, the smartest man in the world. He clones Superman, but doesn't realize he has a secret identity. Like, you have his face, and you couldn't have no technology to scan people's faces or anything. And I get it. In comic lore, well, not even comic lore. This is Donner lore, Christopher Reeve lore. Just throw the glasses on, you act like a bumbling fool, and you're not no one can tell that you're Superman. So I get it. It's some suspension of disbelief. But for some reason, this triggered James Gunn. People questioning, because all Gunn had to do, if people say, how come Lex doesn't know Superman's identity? Just be like, hey, in the comics, that's just how Donner did it. Everyone did it. Gunn could have left this alone. The problem with James Gunn is that he feels he has to answer everything to make himself feel right, for his fans to still love him. It's classic narcissism. This is where we're at with James Gunn. James Gunn's a narcissist. Okay. And I went to school for psychology, right? I majored in psychology. You look at different body tics and just how people react in certain situations. James Gunn is a complete narcissist because he always has to feel that he's right. And he wants everyone to, think he's right. That's classic narcissism, okay? Now, it's okay, if you actually are right and you want to just make sure people know or whatever. Gunn goes out of his way. That's why I say this is narcissism. And I'm going to say why. I'm going to give you a perfect example in just a moment here. We got a super chat here from Carlos. See, I'm getting told by early screeners, people, that they've been told, just like Flash, expect Supergirl to have multiple screens before release. I'm not expecting that. I'm going to be quite honest, but my person, I haven't heard that. I'm not a narcissist, so I don't hear everything. But I haven't heard that. I'll be surprised. I'll be really surprised. they got to try to make as much money as possible with this Supergirl film. Giving those screenings away like The Flash would be a huge mistake. Huge mistake with that, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see what how that comes about overall. And let's see, let's get it. Do we gotta drive? We'll do Canon. So, why am I calling James Gunn, openly calling him? And again, this is not me diagnosing him. These are the traits of a person that is a narcissist. Now, what do we mean? Let's pull this up here. This is him trying to defend, again, a meaningless argument. You know, when BVS came out and people was like, he allowed Jimmy Olsen to get shot, like that was insane. Why would Zack Snyder allow Jimmy Olsen to get capped up? Now, just in passing, someone asked Zack Snyder, I think it was like on a video interview or something, and he was like, that wasn't even the real Jimmy Olsen, really. Just, I had no place for him in the story. So it's kind of a nod to Jimmy Olsen, and then he gets capped, whatever. But people was fighting online about Jimmy Olsen all of 2016 up to today. You never saw Zack Snyder jump online and, hey guys, these are my reasons why that wasn't a real Jimmy Olsen and why he didn't fit in my story. Zack Snyder never had to do that. Or something more close to James Gunn, Feige. People argue about Marvel stuff all the time. And WandaVision, you thought Quicksilver was coming back and he became Ralph Boner? Terrible idea. Terrible execution. Still clown to the day. Did Feige have to jump online and defend this like James Gunn? Again, I'm just showing you these are signs of a narcissistic behavior. Now, it's always been there. Let's see. Try explaining this to Film Junkie. He used to be one of the solid ones. Now he's just high on his own supply of shield pills. I'm surprised of seeing people, they're upset when you're pointing out clear missteps by James Gunn. And I don't think it's up to anyone to try to defend James Gunn. He's stepping in it, and he's stepping in it repeatedly. But I'll get to my first example because he did several posts, and I was like, Gunn, it's getting worse every time you post. This is when you be quiet. But if you're a narcissist, you're not going to be quiet. So Gunn felt like he had to answer this. Says Lex doesn't know who he is, but I don't know how he would. A, Lex thinks Superman is a disconnected alien who wants to take over the world. So I'm not sure why he assumed he has a secret identity. Now, people push back immediately on that online, said, Gunn, like in your movie, Lex alludes to that he thinks Superman has a secret identity. So it's your movie, James Gunn. Your Lex is assuming he had a secret identity in the movie. But okay. He says, B, hypno glasses are real. Clark looks like another person. Now that's corny, but yeah, it's in the comics. Okay. Hypno glasses. Okay. See, being a genius in some ways, in Lex's case, genetics, electrochemistry, nanotechnology, nuclear and quantum physics, to name a few, doesn't mean you're a genius in all fields. Like many scientists and artists, he can miss basic things. This is the dumbest explanation I've ever saw. This is the most insecure director. This is the most insecure creator online. James Gunn, you could have let this pass. No one would have cared, bro. Just because of I'm sure it was just a small group of people saying, oh, Gunn, we already don't like you, and now we're going to start picking at your film. You're supposed to ignore people like that, Gunn. You gave this air. I never would have known it was such a big argument about Why doesn't Lex recognize Superman? If you didn't give air to this, I wouldn't have known. Now that I see it, I'm like, Gunn, how insecure can you be? You are the co-head of DC Studios. You're supposed to be heavily busy in pre-post and production for Man of Tomorrow because you couldn't go to CinemaCon and you couldn't meet your new boss who's probably going to fire you, David Ellison. But you have time to jump on social media to chime in on meaningless arguments that should be beneath you. But see, when you're a narcissist, this isn't going to get through to James Gunn. He feels like he has to defend. And I'm going to say this real quick, Gunn. I know you have people online who notoriously, they send you posts from Snyder fans all the time saying, James Gunn, get him, James. Okay, I already know. There's a group of your guzzlers that collects Snyder fans' posts and sends you screenshots, probably daily. But what you got to understand, James Gunn, there's a segment of Snyder fans that's never going to like you. But again, being a narcissist, you don't want to accept that. You vocally say that, oh yeah, it's okay. Everyone's not going to like me. But that burns you. See, me on a very small platform compared to James Gunn, obviously. And you have a couple anti-sylabduls. Like, am I really going to stoop to every show and say, oh, this person doesn't like me, let me bring up their posts? That'll be nauseating for the audience and for myself. There's some stuff that's beneath you, James Gunn. And I allegedly heard he had counseling and stuff. Something didn't stick with you in counseling. You probably got to book some more sessions. Because I'm serious. This is someone who needs to feel like he's always right. And he wants everyone to feel like he's right all the time. Like I'm diagnosing you right now, James Gunn. And again, you got people that send you these posts probably every day. You need to start ignoring these guzzlers. They're making you look stupid out here trying to answer arguments that really no one cares about, Gunn. But now we care because you're co-head of DC, and now we got to talk about this. How silly this is that you're bringing this up. Dang, Carlos, dang. Hey, bro. I wasn't expecting that one, Carlos. Come on, man. Why you have to do him like that, man? I'm serious. He definitely a temporary worker. I'm dead serious. You fans, you James Gunn fans, y'all not helping James Gunn. Y'all not helping James Gunn, sending him Snyder posts. Again, I know this is happening. Y'all not helping your boy. Snyder fans, at least the same ones, yeah, there's some weirdos in every fandom. But as far as just like level-headed Snyder fans, they're not sending Zack Snyder posts every day. Oh, look, Zack, they hate you. Answer them. Get him, Zack. Because I know that's happening on your side, James Gunn. And you thought you were dunking on someone. And let's just keep it real. You think you're dunking on the Snyder fandom doing stuff like this. Let's just keep it real. You think, a lot of the Snyder fandom don't like you. I'm one of the few, as far as, the core of Sil Nation people, we actually gave your DC a chance. And I'm not saying it's the worst thing ever. But there's a lot of people who just will never like you. And that burns you. That for some reason, like you can't believe people will just decide not to like you. This isn't helping. Okay. You Gunn fans, y'all ain't gonna listen either. You're probably just as narcissistic as him. Y'all not helping your boy. All right. This gets worse, y'all. This was just the first thing I was like, this DCU, this is someone log off James Gunn. We got this here. I'm telling you, it's going to be a slow descent. This entire segment, okay? So someone's asking, just to paraphrase what they're asking James Gunn, It said, I know you clarified what is canon from Peacemaker season 1. And they said they was wondering what's canon in Blue Beetle. Because Gunn made it clear, Blue Beetle's part of the DCU. And where's that animated project, Gunn? You already got 2 seasons of Creature Commandos. You're making season 2. You got the Mr. Miracle because you had to do Tom King a solid, right? We understand that. We understand what's going on here. Where's the animated Blue Beetle? That will blow all this stuff away. It's like all the good ideas you're not doing. Oh, it's a script issue. It's a script. Like, animated Blue Beetle would clear everything you've put out up to this point. And you're not doing it. It's amazing. But, so that's the question. The answer is Blue Beetle still having animated Blue Beetle? He better greenlight that before April 2027. Like, his contract about to be up. So he better get out what he can get. Exactly. Again, I promise you, James Gunn, the people that really, really don't like you, you're not going to convince them otherwise. I don't waste time trying to convince people like, sylabdul, he's lying to you every stream. Sylabdul hates you. Sylabdul, whatever. I don't give that air. Right? You can't just, and I just got a little small group of people that acts like that with me. You probably got tens of thousands of people that hate you. But you're in a position that you are, with much responsibility, much is required, right? You're going to have your haters. Stop trying to convince them. Stop trying to please, again, your guzzlers that message you all the time. Look at what Snyder fans are saying, Gunn. Get them, James. They're making you look crazy out here, James. They really are. Now, I know a few of them who sends you stuff. Okay? Yeah, Gunn single-handedly ruined Peacemaker season 2 finale by talking too much. So this is his answer to this question of what's canon in Blue Beetle. Oh my goodness. This is the co-head of DC Studio. This is his DCU. He says, I've been thinking about this a lot in regards to the Suicide Squad and Blue Beetle. And I've been meaning to rewatch both with an eye towards that, knowing what I know now, almost 3 years into the DCU, with a couple more years of scripts being actively filmed or created. Maybe after Man of Tomorrow, Jen, Steve, and I can get together for a special couple podcast to discuss. What do you guys think is potentially or definitely not canon from the Suicide Squad and Blue Beetle? What are we... Okay. So in October 2022, Black Adam came out, right? Did what it did. We understand. We understand what happened. Henry Cavill announced that he was back. All right. It's been well reported. David Zaslav panicked. At the same time, he realized they had more debt than they thought. When from Warner Media, they thought it was like 30 billion, ended up being 50 billion. So Zaslav, once Black Adam had to pop, and then Zaslav was like, let's throw money at this, make as much money as possible. Theatrical DC, let's go. It didn't make as much. So Gunn was like, Zaslav was like, okay, let's do lower budgets. Do your reboot, Gunn Safran, you're in. Do your reboot. You can't spend too much money, all right? David Zaslav at that time said there was a 10-year plan for DC. He told this to the money people. He said, you got Goldman Sachs and all these other banks, investors in Warner Bros. He said, we got drawn out a 10-year plan. Enter James Gunn. Yeah, we got like a 8-year plan. Then it became a 6 to 8 year plan. Then it became a 6-year plan. Now it's just a DC attack plan. There's no years to it anymore. But one of the first things you would do if you have a plan, which you actually don't, what's the story with Blue Beetle in this plan? Is there a story with Blue Beetle in the plan? The Suicide Squad, Peacemaker? Do you really have a plan, James Gunn? Because you're asking your audience, what do you think is canon? Shouldn't you have this figured out already, James Gunn, 4 years ago? It didn't cross your mind that you got to realize what fits and what doesn't? This is one of the dumbest comments I've ever seen from someone. It's your job to know the canon. And he's like, oh, I was just thinking about this the other day. Then what were you doing this entire time, Gunn? You were just writing your Superman film and your Peacemaker stuff and your Creature Commandos. And you really don't even know how the story connects. You don't know how your story connects. But it just crossed your mind what's canon? Is this why the animated Blue Beetle's not happening? Because you don't even know how this even fits in your world. You claim that it's in the DCU, but you don't even know what's canon. There is no plan, y'all. There's no plan. There's no plan. It's the Superman saga, right? All they did when Gunn got this job, they just spitballed this slate, right? Where are those movies at? Where are the movie projects, as Maria would say? They just winged this, y'all, because now only 40% of these things are even happening. There's no plan. Placeholder universe. Insane. And it's going to get worse, y'all. I just pulled a couple examples. It's going to be more this weekend with Jules as well. There's no plan. This is how we find out. This man, because he can't keep his thumbs off his phone, he's talking too much and revealing just a lack of confidence and the lack of strategy for the last 4 years. This is just a Superman saga. It's going to end in Man of Tomorrow. Okay, DC is not popping right now. It's not. All this stuff coming out this year, man. We just talk about Michael. You got Toy Story 5 coming out. I'm hearing Toy Story 5 may do $2 billion. Okay. Minions. Live action Moana. Spider-Man. Avengers. DC's made for TV right now. That's where we're at. This man does not even know what's canon in his DCU. Placeholder universe, folks. That's literally what this is. And we were sold something, and again, I'm speaking of those. There's some out there, like, there's all that hated Gunn before he even was hired, and they'll continue to hate him. That's one thing. Y'all can have your opinion. I'm talking about just of us, because it's not just me speaking here. I'm in touch with a lot of people that was actually giving Gunn's DC a chance. They were Snyder fans. They are Snyder fans as well. And they were giving an open mind to James Gunn. And they maybe even, was excited for Superman 2025. I mean, I'm connected with a lot of Superman purist people, DC Comics purists, everything. And they're feeling let down by James Gunn right now. People that's giving James Gunn a chance, he's letting them down now. Because you tried to sell us that you had a universe. Your constant presence online, narcissistic behavior is actually your undoing. You're being caught in allegedly telling lies. And it's probably not even lies. He's making this up as he goes. I don't even see no podcast. Of course, some people are saying like it's a podcast you got to pay for. I don't know. I didn't see anything open about that, but I don't gotta wait for no podcast after Man of Tomorrow. What was canon? What's not? That's not fun to me. You made the films, bro. Like, why don't you know what's canon? You adopted Blue Beetle. Why did you do it? Did you just make this up as you go, bro? Please stand by first. This is crazy, bro. And it's happening right in front of our eyes. This dude never had a plan. And then just by comparison, you ask Zack Snyder something, he'll tell you what's connected with the story. And Zack doesn't even write all this stuff. He thinks of ideas. Chris Terrio wrote a lot of this stuff. But Zack Snyder had a Bible of stuff that he used as backstory and what connects and the through line of the story. He just talked about the Aquaman plan like a week or two ago. You're supposed to have all this stuff thought out. James Gunn, you just came in with your Superman script. We'll get into like, Henry Cavill. They had a script for Henry Cavill, Man of Steel 2. Gunn, and you passed on it because you supposedly had this well thought out DCU plan. I would still be angry either way that you did not choose to do the Cavill project. You didn't even have to direct it, Gunn. You could have just allowed it to happen, just like Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman 3. You could have. They had the script ready for that, and you decided not to do it because you want to do your own stuff. We thought you had your whole DCU universe already planned out, and you didn't. So you misled all of us. See, I would have been upset either way. I'd rather see the Cavill Man of Steel 2 and a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman 3 and the Flash sequel. They had a script for that, and then they had a Justice League team up film. One last ride of the SnyderVerse. It's confirmed. DeLuca and Abby was going to do that. But you made everyone believe you had some kind of grand plan. Again, even if you had your grand plan, it's like, I still rather see this other stuff. But if you have a plan, okay, let's see what you got. If you have a drawn out plan, no, all you have is Superman saga. You about to make a goofy Brainiac who's going to possibly mold into Lex because DC wants you to do that, Gunn. I'll be shocked. I don't even know the script for Man of Tomorrow, but I know DC wanted Brainiac in a live action DC film for 30 years now, over 30 years, and they want Brainiac to mold into with Lex. To merge with Lex. So I'm pretty sure you have to do that in your film, Gunn. You didn't have a DC world planned out, man. This is a joke. I'll take Blue Beetle back to the SnyderVerse. Yeah. Head of DC doesn't know what is canon in his own universe. This is a joke. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, there's many people they feel very similar. Like Carlos said in the chat, you're telling us you got a DC world ready for us. Let's see what you got. We'll judge accordingly. But you pulled a fast one on everyone. And there really is no plan. Yeah, we'll talk about the Cavill because he made it. There's one more comment I'm gonna bring up from Gunn, and it's like, bro, he's lost the entire plot. His finger is now on the pulse of DC. Again, me and other people, we took it seriously, Gunn, when he came in as co-head of DC Studios saying, "Oh, I know the Phantom is fractious We know it's fractious, but you're not even attempting to put it together. Do you know what could bring the DC universe together? Is go back to 2020 DC Fandom. You had Matt Reeves' Batman first trailer. You had the Snyder Cut Hallelujah trailer. And you even had you, Gunn, your Suicide Squad. 3 different versions of DC. That was the last time DC fandom was united, at 2020 DC Fandom. You had comics, you had the games, you had everything, the history, and the legacy of DC. And the comics were actually trash around that time. They're better now. But the animated films, you had something. That's what DC Universe is. It's not just one storyline. Stop trying to be like Marvel. That's never going to happen again, what they did with Marvel. That's lightning in the bottle. It doesn't strike in the same place twice. You have the Dark Universe try to do that with Mummy and Frankenstein and Invisible Man. You can't recreate what Marvel did. Sometimes things just happen. It just falls into order. Now Marvel is realized like, oh, really, we only got Avengers, really. We can't put out another Sam Wilson or Thunderbolts in theaters. We probably can't even do Fantastic Four by themselves in theaters. We created this monster, Avengers. It's just Avengers really right now for Marvel until they start doing X-Men. See, stop trying to recreate. Go back to what worked. DC is multiple timelines, multiple takes. You can have stuff connected if you want over here, have a separate thing going on over here. Different things on TV. We had BVS in theaters. We had the Arrowverse on TV. Not connected at all until they connected it with the Crisis event on TV, right? We got to get back to what DC was in 2020. Everybody was eating. And by extension, DC fans will give this version a chance over here because they got what they want right here. As long as it's successful, making money. So from that time, from 2020, Matt Reeves' Batman did good in theaters, like just under 800 million. I think part 2 is going to be great. You got a fan base right there. It's Batman. People going to show up for Batman. Snyder Cut. Everyone loves the Snyder Cut. According to my friends in Sama TV, it was a smash hit. People misquote them all the time. I don't know why. I got to pull that video up where they told you Snyder Cut was successful. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Yeah. It did good on streaming. I'll give it that. It did good on streaming. Not too much in theaters. But everyone was getting something that they wanted. And when James Gunn coming in the door saying, oh, I know everything is fractious, you're not attempting to put this together, Gunn. And now what you're doing, you're allowing some of your guzzlers who's sending you posts every day saying, oh, go attack these DC fans. Gunn, get them, James. It's not a good look, bro. It's narcissistic. It's insecure. You're not helping the DC brand. Yeah, it's all on the fly, man. It's all on the fly. Like, oh yeah, we got this well thought out plan, right? All these stories, they're gonna kind of connect, and then no, none of this is connecting. Supergirl's not really gonna connect with the Superman film. It's gonna just be there. Lanterns ain't gonna connect. Well, he's gonna throw Jon Stewart in the Man of Tomorrow. Now he's saying Booster Gold is still happening. Who cares? Paradise Lost, deep development. Bro, you better get that greenlit before April 2027. That's all you got to be worried about right now, Gunn. That can't come soon enough. All of a sudden, it's a Superman saga. That's how we knew that slate was crap. Oh, yeah, I lost my comments. There we go. You lose good taste. It's a wrap, good. Like, it's a wrap.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
I said good day. It's insane, man. We've been lied to, y'all. Yeah, that's when DC, that's when I started my channel. I was like, oh man, I'm like, okay, we getting the Snyder Cut about to come out. And look at all this other DC stuff. It was an exciting time. You still have people, oh, I don't like Snyder's take. That's okay. You got your goofy Suicide Squad coming out. You know? Then Reeves, okay, he's doing something different with Batman. Okay, everyone was eating, man. DC is a buffet, all right? It's not just like one steak dinner with, you know, a steak entree with a couple sides. That's Marvel. You know, Marvel just gonna be, just one story. This is the course of the meal that you're gonna get. That's Marvel. DC is a buffet. Just go pick what you want, man. Because this could be successful at the same rate that this can be as well too. Marvel can't do that. That's what made DC special. Yeah, you can't do what Marvel did, but Marvel can't do what DC does. And it's like they lost track of that. I'm just saying, the Man of Tomorrow story, it's going to leak one day. And you know we're going to have it here on blast when that story leaks. But I just know DC wants this storyline, this fusion of Brainiac and Lex. They've wanted this. Now that Gunn's the one doing the live-action Brainiac with Lex heavily in the film, that it has to happen. There's no way. Like, that's just like DC. They wanted Doomsday in live action for 30 years. It's like saying, okay, you're going to have Doomsday, but you're not going to do the death of Superman to them. So, okay, we got Brainiac. Okay, check. We got to do the fusion. You got Lex in here too? Check. We got to do the fusion. That's what it is. Just like, we got Doomsday in a Superman film? That's Superman. Has to happen. So, we'll see. Insane. Let's catch up here because we got one more thing that Gunn said. Oh man, it's just what is happening, bro? It's crazy. So if my blood pressure wasn't up enough, this is amongst other things. I'm going to touch on more this weekend as well because I got to get Jules' take on a lot of this stuff. But there's just a couple of things that I was like, Gunn, you're losing the plot, bro. This here. Exhibit C. That James Gunn is a narcissistic, insecure little boy inside, allegedly, and has no business being co-head of DC Studios. If some of those other comments didn't send me enough, this pushed me over the edge. I was just like, I slam tables, I flip tables. Question says, was a complete reboot and recasting ever considered? And why did you choose to keep Suicide Squad, Peacemaker cast, or some others? Nothing against it. I just wanted to understand the criteria for including some things and not others. And also the consequences of that on narrative cohesion. Because he's already admitted, Gunn's already admitted, he doesn't even know what's canon. It's his job to tell a story, and he didn't even figure this out. So I don't know what you've been doing these last 4 years, Gunn, but this is his answer. Gunn says Peacemaker season 2 deals were all in place when I became head of DC. It was either break everyone's contract. Now, side note, Wonder Woman 3's contracts was in as well. Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, those deals were already in place. You broke those, but those weren't that wasn't your character. But okay, let me finish. Let me finish. It was either break everyone's contracts and pay out all that money and take away HBO Max's biggest show at the time, or find a way to make it work. So you rather break the contract of Patty Jenkins, Gal Gadot theatrically instead of a streaming show. But again, those weren't your characters. So I get it. Wonder Woman's not your character. So yeah. And some HBO Max's biggest show at that time, I don't know, but that's cap. Okay, that's cap. Gus says, I chose the latter. Mostly, though, because I love the character. And that's really why. I don't know why you made up this contract thing, Gunn. We don't believe you anymore. Some people have never believed you. But he said, mostly, though, because I love the character and the show and thought they could be an important part of the DCU, but they're not. We've all saw Peacemaker season 2. Inconsequential to an overall story that you don't even have. So you don't even know what part they play because you don't even know what the next part of the story is. All you know is you're doing Man of Tomorrow. And Clayface, it's over there, but it's really it's a like a prequel type approach. So it really doesn't even affect the overall story. You don't have an overall story. You just have the Superman saga. We saw Peacemaker season 2. That doesn't. You didn't even have to make that, and the DCU could have been fine if you actually had a story. This is this is insane, man. There is no DCU, okay? there is no DCU. There's a Superman saga. Supergirl fits into it. He's forcing Jon Stewart into Man of Tomorrow with the Justice Gang. That's not hot, Gunn. Justice Gang, bro? You thought that really was going to pop off. People, oh, Justice Gang. That's not funny, bro. So you're saying you only brought over your characters because you thought, oh, you didn't want to break their contracts. But before you were hired, they were writing a Man of Steel 2 script. And they have to pay for that. Wonder Woman 3, the script was already turned in. Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot was ready to go. But you scrapped those. You scrapped the Cavill, Man of Steel 2. Cavill was in the end of the Flash film. They were setting up his film. They were going to set it up from the Flash film. They were setting up one last ride of the SnyderVerse team up at the end of Aquaman 2. Ben Affleck was there. You scrapped these ideas, Gunn. You did that. Trying to say you had some big DCU plan. The story doesn't exist. You don't know what's canon. And you're thinking Peacemaker, everyone in Peacemaker season 2 is inconsequential to an overall story. James Gunn has lost the plot. He really should log off. He lied about allegedly about the Maxima casting, and the trades finally, called out Gunn on that. They was like, oh, let's double down. Gunn's trying to say, she's not this character or she's not cast. It's like, Gunn, we don't learn anything when you post. Because people's like, oh, sylabdul. No, Maxima is Maxima. She's not Wonder Woman. He's not going to use Wonder Woman. He probably can't. He's not allowed to use it. This is what I'm thinking now. Just like he can't use Batman right now. this is the thing with James Gunn. It's to the point. Like I said, we don't learn anything when he posts. Oh, that's what people always ask. Oh, why am I so concerned with James Gunn's posts? Well, 5 years ago, I didn't care what James Gunn said on social media. I know he got caught up back in the day. Disney fired him and stuff like that. I wasn't following James Gunn like that. But when you become co-head of DC, see, I grew up a DC Comics fan. Reading Batman, Green Arrow. I read some Marvel too, Spider-Man, Jim Lee X-Men, Todd McFarlane Spider-Man. But it was about DC for me. So just like with Burton, with Schumacher, Nolan, Snyder, now you, Gunn, you're co-head of DC Studios. So yeah, I'm going to care about everything you say about DC. I'm going to pick it apart. But you having this title, this role, we learn nothing useful for DC every time you talk about it. You're gaslighting DC fans. You're allowing your Guzzler fans to pitch you against Snyder fans. Again, I know a few of the Guzzlers that messages you all the time, Gunn. And they're trying to report Snyder fans. You're not helping this fractious fan base. So why do you have this role? You're not exciting us about DC. You're not sharing anything worthwhile. We're catching you in fibs all the time. So why are you posting so much? We know why you're posting so much, because this is narcissistic behavior. You're insecure. Your contract's about to be up. That's where we're at. Unless something drastically changes, we're in the last calendar year of you being any kind of exec of DC. It's not, again, there's a large group of people who are Snyder fans and they gave your DC a chance. You're ticking them off now. You had the people that already didn't like you. That hurts your feelings. Complete strangers to you, but somehow that affects you. The people don't like you. And I know it affects you like that because you have narcissistic behavior. You want everyone to love you. That's what, seriously. And not even trying to get too personal with you, because I don't know what happened with your family and stuff. Personal life stuff right there for you. You need more counseling. Seriously. This is what this behavior is, and this is not bringing the fandom together like we thought you would try to do in that position. That's the problem. I'm guessing Zazev never really had guns back here. Well, this is what I would say. Zazev, the reports are coming out that he actually wanted to stick around after the sale. The original plan was to build the value up of Warner Brothers, pay down the debt. Me and the late, great Mikey Sutton talked about this in 2021. It was a grow the value and then flip the company. And Zazev was supposed to just walk off in the sunset, but he started loving being in Hollywood, having those courtside Laker tickets, right? Having those Hollywood parties with Oprah for some reason. And so he wanted to stick around after this deal. So that's why he was pushing Netflix so hard, because Netflix has no idea what to do with theatrical films, right? So Netflix, they would have stayed out of everyone's way. Warner Brothers, business as usual. And in that scenario, I think Gunn would have had a better chance of staying. Yeah. I think he would have a better chance of staying if Netflix would have bought this. Now Paramount is looking like they're going to get it. And part of the deal of Paramount taking over, the hostile takeover, is that Zazev is out. So in a sense, Zazev, yes, he did want Gunn there. Now it's out of his control. It's out of his hands. Again, that contract extension, only a 6-month extension. It's a wrap. April 2027. We counting down, Gunn. I'm gonna start having a ticker on the Saturday show as we count down your end. Because again, you're not here to unite the fandom. There's nothing that you're doing. The behavior that you're doing. That's what I'm saying. You got some greasy people messaging you, and you're following off of toxic people, Gunn. And you're only doing that because they like you. It's not about if it's right or wrong or helps the fandom. Gunn, you just care about people who like that's the only opinions that you care about is who likes you. But if it's about DC fans overall, some of them don't like you. They never will. Protect the brand. That's what your job's supposed to have been. You told David Ayer, "Oh, let me get a couple films and then we'll look at your Ayer cut." But then quietly you moved off that. You don't want to put the Ayer cut out. James Gunn cannot be trusted. Again, narcissistic behavior, insecure behavior, and we're counting down to your contract's up. If by some miracle you get a contract extension, I don't know how DC can recover. Because Supergirl, not tracking good. Man Tomorrow, I don't know how you're going to get any new audience from the first one. You don't have a DCU plan. You don't have this all figured out. This is really a joke. Is this the Superman saga, Gunverse, whatever you want to call it? Everyone didn't like Peacemaker season 2 finale. You know that. So you're not even gonna do Peacemaker anymore. That's what I'm hearing. You can't even do Peacemaker no more. You tried to with all that cap saying that was the hottest show on HBO Max. Okay. Okay. My goodness, man. Counseling session, man. I would have been open to Gunn's direction. He could have been mature about it. Yeah. I thought he was who I saw his movie. Like I said, it's a mid-level Superman film. It's decent character moments in the film. The action isn't there. The replay value really isn't there. Like I tried to rewatch it again, and then the film starts off, he gets beat up, and I was like, I'm kind of tired of watching him get beat up. I got tired of it. So I was like, I like the Mr. Terrific part. The title Justice Gang irks me every time I hear it now. I'm just like, bro, it's like DC ain't supposed to be a joke like this, man. What is this? You shoehorn in Maxwell Lord. There's really no story with that. I thought he was going to actually do something with a Maxwell Lord arc. No. You're making this all up as you go. So you misled us. Zaslav misled us saying you had a 10-year plan. Where's this 10-year plan? It ain't this slate. So it just, yeah. I want to wrap this part up because I want to get to the last topic. Man. My goodness. I told you that irked me, y'all. And I just had to be honest. I'm hearing from too many people, just fans just like us, who's actually trying to give this a shot. Like I said, this ain't just the people that just already hated you. You're taking off people who's actually giving you a shot, Gunn. That's what you got to understand. I know the narratives out there is like, oh, just all the Snyder fans hate him. It's like, no, you have quintessential DC fans that's not liking your vibe. People who likes Corn Sweat. They're not rocking with your direction, Gunn. It's a vote of non-confidence, no confidence in James Gunn. A brand like DC needs an effective, professional, forward-looking team that understands the material and fans instead of a person to lead a studio. Is literally the largest comic IP in the world. It's too much potential there, and I get it. Where it's like, okay, it's all about Batman. It feels like. So what you should do for DC, you should have a film, have Batman, and you can have Superman in it. You can throw Wonder Woman in it, and it's going to have that attention because Batman's in it, and it's going to pop. And then if that film's successful, then you can do a spin-off Wonder Woman film. You can introduce the Justice League in that film, so you can spin off Aquaman. All that happened in BVS, right? And Wonder Woman did over 800 million. Aquaman did $1 billion. BVS on his own did 870. That's how you build a DC universe. If you want to do it theatrical, And now with streaming, you see what Marvel's doing? The Punisher one-shot presentation. DC should have been doing stuff like this on HBO Max. I mean, Penguin hit. Penguin was you slapped with that. Do some of these one-shot stories. You know, and if you want to get big theatrical, you got to start with Batman. You build in the characters. Warner Bros. Already had this. They already had this set up. They could have spent off the Cyborg, the Flash film with Lord and Miller, right? Lantern Corps. Now you're trying to redo it again with James Gunn and with the Superman saga. The numbers are showing you this ain't the way you build a universe. Supergirl is suffering because it wasn't enough pop with Superman 2025. There was pop with BVS, whether people liked the film or not. The pop was there. The Wonder Woman entrance, all of a sudden she comes out with a film, 800 million. If BVS was really a failure, Wonder Woman would have failed. Aquaman would have failed. But Superman 2025, it did okay. Now you're trying to spin off Supergirl, and the pop's not there. That's not how you build a DC universe. And you don't have a plan, Gunn. That's what we're learning. You don't even have a plan. While Clayface may possibly be interesting at this point, my excitement rests solely with Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 when it comes to DC on film, for sure. It's about Batman. Shout out to Strong Arm in the chat. Gunn needs to go. It's a wrap, man. Like, it's Paramount, David Ellison, they got to see this. They got to see just going off the numbers. You know, this Superman saga, it's not sustainable. I don't. You can do repeat business. It is what it is. Insane. Superman movie was a joke and a bad one at that. Superman gets belt to ass. Like I said, when the film, I tried to rewatch, and like I said, I watched it a couple of times. You know, it's on HBO Max, and I was like, it has moments, but the way it starts, it's almost like if I start the film, I gotta like fast forward like a half hour or about like 15 minutes because he gets beat up immediately. Right? Like he gets wrecked immediately. It's like, hey, this is Superman, guys. Like this is how we start this film up. He gets wrecked. It's like, man. Oh man, Spinning Man. Oh my goodness. Not the crypto one shot. Y'all are wild. Yeah, if Gunn had a plan, I mean, see, my thing is, you know, you had no idea if the Superman was going to hit, right? And now we see it hit like mid-level. Supergirl shouldn't have been your second theatrical film. That's what I think. What I feel Gunn should have done is, okay, if this is if this is what you're doing with Superman, okay, 2025, you got 619 million. Chill out 2027. Get your Man Tomorrow together. Go ahead and put your Lantern series out. You probably even do the low budget Clayface. That's not a problem. Do Man of Tomorrow, but like you just said, put Batman in it. Batman needs to be a part of this second film because I really more of the same. I don't think this is not gonna bring in new fans. I don't think it is. So I think this is a mistake what James Gunn is doing. And hey, that's fine. You want to do your Man of Tomorrow? That should be the end. That should be the end of his DCU. That's what's up. That's wild. So we got the negative stuff out the way. Let's get to the final topic, because again, it's about Restore. It's about the energy that Zack Snyder is pumping to DC overall. And I have this little clip here. It's from a recent show, but let me blow this up a little bit. Oh, it's fine right here. Well, no, let's blow it up. But this was from, I think, the last Saturday show. And this kind of sums up where I'm at with when we're talking about Restore and why the energy is on Restore. I kind of explained it here. If Zack knows his fandom, him posting anything about the SnyderVerse would be deemed cruel if he didn't think it was possible for it to happen. Mm-hmm. Literally. Zack Snyder knows his fandom. So that's why I told people it's not about following some new hashtag people want to come up with, some new movement. Follow Zack Snyder. That's what we're doing here. As long as Zack is talking about the SnyderVerse, we're going to keep that hope up no matter what, until he says, okay, now, it's a wrap, guys, right? And Zack already said he's not going to do it, right? I still see people on social media saying, oh, sylabdul, why you keep, the SnyderVerse is dead, bro. Now, Zack Snyder has said the most impossible thing was getting the Snyder cut. That's what Zack said. Said that's the most impossible thing. It's easier to get the sequel. That's what Zack said. So I'm holding to that. And the fact he keeps feeding us with these pictures, these posts, Jewel's like, I can only take it one way. That we have a shot and then we see the connect. So yeah, that's why are we still calling for Restore? Because Zack Snyder is still fueling us, right? And he's been fueling us so much. Like last month, the month of March, it was all about all this memory lane, right? All these films had original release dates in March, BVS, ZSJL, Watchmen, 300, So it was all good. Like you had memory lane was what people called it. And even some, I guess Snyder fans, they were just like, oh, maybe it's just memory lane. Maybe he's not announcing anything. Look, Zack stopped posting DC. Except he kept posting DC, right? He kept posting. What is this? Zack, what is this, bro? What are we doing, Zack? Zack Snyder posted, I think it was last week. You see Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman. As the caption says, let's see, my screen gets all whack. Power of the Trinity. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. I think I cut off some of the posts, but he's talking about something about the myth. And then as you see on the bottom there, Dawn of Justice. Has people thinking, like, okay, like was this a choice? So these are unused promotional pictures, I believe. I don't know if we've seen these pictures before. Dawn of Justice. This is what the people want. Do the people want this, or just random shots of dudes in a bar, lanterns, just like no green, just nothing magical, like lanterns was supposed to be. Just a show about a rural area. This is what DC fans want, and this crosses over to the general audience as well too, because the numbers showed you that. The numbers showed you, despite the mixed reactions to BVS, people showed up, paid money to see it. 870 million. I know the argument was, oh, you got a film with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. That's an easy billion. Superman hasn't made $1 billion by himself. Wonder Woman didn't even have a film until BVS came out. Now her spinoff was great, 800 million. You had a rebooted Batman in this film. How did Matt Reeves' Batman do? Less than 800 million? Oh, but Batman's a guaranteed billion, right? No, guess it's not. BVS did better. People showed up. They paid money. It helped the Wonder Woman solo film, Aquaman film as well. This is how you build a DC universe, not this. That's not hot. Dawn of Justice. So I see rumors out there. People are like, could they re-release BVS as Dawn of Justice? I'm not too 100% confident in that. I mean, I could see like a theatrical thrust, getting ZSJL in theaters. Sure, re-release BVS. I mean, if they're going to do that, it's all about how you sell stuff. And I could sell a film with Batman and Superman in the title. If it's just called Dawn of Justice, I don't know how you can really sell that. You could sell Justice League. You could definitely sell Justice League. So yeah. So I'm not sure about some kind of re-release with Dawn of Justice, but we'll see. I'll take it. But this is Zack Snyder just posting DC continuously. And it's not just memory lane anymore. This is someone, Zack Snyder, I've been told consistently for a couple of years now, Zack wants to do DC again. I mean, Zack's already told you that. He's already told everyone he would do DC in a drop of a hat. He's still posting DC because Zack Snyder still wants us talking about DC. There is still a chance for him to finish his story. As we see with the Saudis and their connection in the beginning of the show, I talked about the film they have out there. The Saudis funded and shot a film in Saudi Arabia using Hollywood directors and actors, showing that they can make a film out there in Saudi Arabia, Desert Warrior. Again, I'm going to check it out just to see, how they put that scope together, because that's the template of what Saudis want to do with WBIPs. Per the terms of their deal with Paramount, is that the Saudis, Abu Dhabi, and Qatar can use WBIPs, meaning they can use DC. One of them wants to use Harry Potter. Make JL2 Nightmare in Saudi. This could happen. We're in the timeline where we need to be, where this is our best chance. And as I said in my clip earlier, Zack would not be teasing this unless there was a chance. I do, just like 2018, 2019, Zack was teasing stuff because there was a chance. And then Zack posted this. For no reason. This was just yesterday. No reason. Zack Snyder posts Batfleck. Now, this is a shot from BVS because you see the armor. or it's like a behind the scenes or, some kind of footage. But he puts the quote, "I'm older now than my father ever was. This may be the only thing I do that matters." Is this what Zack Snyder saying? That DC, his Batman, this may be the only thing I do that matters? Like I want JL2, shoot it in the Saudi Arabia, finish Zack's story. Then I want the Batfleck movie too, man. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if people are understanding. Okay. That's why I started the show talking about Desert Warrior. The Saudis has a Hollywood film out right now. Well, actually, it's not a Hollywood film. They made a film in Saudi Arabia using Hollywood director, the director of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and Anthony Mackie. The Saudis are going to be in for big budget films, and they're going to shoot those films in Saudi Arabia. I think you get some tax breaks over there too. Like they found ways to get tax breaks in their country. It's amazing. They can make ZSJL2 in Saudi and make the Batfleck movie. Okay? Let's make the Batfleck movie. SnyderVerse. That's how important that Desert Warrior is. Not saying that that's a great movie. Again, it's mixed audience reactions. I don't care about the critics. The critics, they don't want anything in Saudi Arabia. And I'm not sitting there vouching for Saudi Arabia. This is global business. They got mad at Dave Chappelle, going over to Saudi Arabia, right? Collecting that bag over there. They want in on this Hollywood business. Now they're putting out productions with Hollywood directors. Now that per terms of their deal with Paramount, they can use the DCIP. Do you don't think they want to shoot a Justice League film in Saudi Arabia? That's why I said DC Universe is great because you can do all these different stories. You don't even need that mainline story. You can do it if you want. Like even if they get rid of Gunn, they're going to want to have some kind of continuous DC story. That's fine. Give us the SnyderVerse over here. You can do whatever you want over here. Reeves, you can do whatever you want over there, man. Let's get the crew out there to Saudi Arabia and let's shoot this Justice League 2 film, man. Let's do it. This deal, Paramount, people inside Paramount feels the deal can close, Paramount WB, this July. I want an announcement by the beginning of 2027 that we are putting the crew over there in Saudi Arabia to shoot Justice League 2. Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. That just needs to happen now. Zack knows what he wants, man. He knows this. The antis, they're going crazy every time. Every time Zack posts, like, oh my God, like he's giving y'all false hope. We've been through this already, 2018, 2019. Then he announced the cut in 2020. 2021, Zack put out the Crisis Turkey. All of a sudden, Cavill and Ben was back. Gunn scrapped the plans. This is the timeline, y'all. Now, Zack is in good with the Saudis. And the Saudis want to make Hollywood productions in Saudi Arabia. They already did one. Now they're going to be able to use DC. Let's make ZSJL2 in Saudi Arabia. That's it. That's all I'm accepting now. And the only alternative is if David Ellison's like, hey, actually, I kind of want to do this in America. Then go ahead. Paramount, go ahead and take it. Because the Saudis, they're gonna do some DC. Or they'll probably they could let Zack shoot his Dark Knight Returns over there in Saudi Arabia. And then Ellison, you do JL2 and 3 in this country. Either way, I don't care as long as we get the films. But we see the Saudis are ready for big productions in their country, man. And then we could they could just do the entire SnyderVerse over there. Let's just like, if we're already shooting big films in Saudi Arabia, just do the entire SnyderVerse. Because see, now that you can use AI stages and sets and things like that. So if you got to go on location, you can use AI for that. See, that's where AI can, have a benefit, is to save you traveling costs and time. I'm fine with that as long as you're not replacing actors without their consent, or you're not writing scripts with AI. No one likes that. That's really, an unethical feeling about it. Let's go over to Saudi Arabia and do the entire SnyderVerse. Let's just do it. Let's just stop playing. Let's just do it. Just gotta get this deal closed first, and then why not? The Saudi verse. Last minute comments or questions, throw it in the chat. I got to start winding this down. I got like 15 minutes, but I'm going to start winding this down. Got to get started with my day. Coffee Talk Thursdays is a thing. It was supposed to be around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I started a little late today, but Thursday mornings. Now, this Saturday is going to be a pre-recorded conversation with me and Jules, because this Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. So I won't be live Saturday, but it will be a premiere video of me and Jules talking more about James Gunn's narcissistic ways, and his DCU is leveling off, man. It really is. Like, just the pop is not there. We didn't even talk about the Green Lantern thing. I'll talk about that with Jules. They keep pulling the trailer, and it's a mess with the marketing. So Thursdays, Coffee Talks, that's going to continue to be a thing because of y'all support. Like, when you're here, when you're live, obviously make sure you're smashing the like, make sure you subscribe, commenting, even share the video, is much appreciated. The YouTube game has changed, y'all. This is different from 2022. It's based, these videos are pushed strictly off of y'all interaction. It's either that or people are buying bots, but it's like, it's strictly pushed off y'all interaction, smashing the like, sharing the video, commenting. So much appreciated. As long as the support is there, I'll continue to do these Thursday Coffee Talks, just like the Saturday show. As long as the support is there, we'll continue to do that show. So much appreciated with that. So like I said, this Saturday, it won't be live. It will be a premiere video. I'll probably be in the comments and we'll chop it up. But me and Jules will have a little conversation for y'all, ready to go Saturday. Because like I said, I'm going to be out there getting my free comic books. Free comic book day. So also too, that was an L, but I'm going to get back on schedule with my members Mondays. That's going to be a continuous exclusive members stream. You can catch it live again, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays. That's members Mondays. So there'll be a recap of if there's any weekend news. It'll be, sometimes I give you like previews of rumor roulettes, things like that, talking just the latest in film. We'll have some box office things as well. So members Mondays, we have a fun time as well with that. So I'm committed. I'm committing my schedule. And it's because of the support. Again, it's because of y'all, man. Like it would be no reason to show up early and do this if the support isn't there. Since I'm seeing the support, we're going to keep it going. So that's Monday. So what we say that's it. So Thursday, Coffee Talk, Saturday show, the weekly show. Again, it'll be pre-recorded this Saturday. Members Monday. We got the Patreon link in the description. Just had a pretty interesting one. We had this here. Let's pull this up on Patreon. that's where I get. That's where I put a lot of my rumors and leaks and exclusive scoops, whatever. I received the entire Avengers Doomsday story, but I refuse to spoil all of it. So I know the title says how it ends. I don't tell you fully how it ends, but very interesting stuff. If you're interested in like Marvel and other Star Wars stuff and things like that, and some DC stuff, become a Patreon, link in the description. Patrons have been my longest supporters. I've had people support me on Patreon. I think even before I met Mikey Sutton. That's how far back I go with my patrons. So I got to give them the goods for everything. So definitely jump over there for that support as well too. I'm here somewhere. There we go. So let's catch up with the comments before we close this out. Oh yeah, Sunday night views with Carlos Silos. Night views 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sundays. Right now I have it exclusive on X Twitter. I'm gonna do some clips on my sports channel as well, but night views, we'll figure out how different ways for y'all to find that. So for the sports people out there, right? Interesting stuff. Okay, enough of commercials, right? There's a lot of commercials today. But all right, let's see what y'all saying here. Wow, that lanterns is crazy. I've been enjoying those live Saturday streams with you and Jules. Yeah, no, it's pretty unfiltered. The purpose of that Saturday show is, we're counting down till this Paramount deal closes, and then it may become a celebration stream if we're really getting everything we want. We see the trajectory of the Saudis. Again, they're starting to make these Hollywood projects already. Now when they get their hands on DC, it's going to be very interesting. Appreciate it. Shout out to you, Jovic. Yeah, Saturday, new video will be up with me and Jules. The new image of lanterns, is it the one where they're just sitting down? Yeah. It's not. There's no hype for lanterns. Jovic, I go back with Sil since he had under 100 subs. Yeah, for sure, man. And it's the same energy, man. Like I started this channel to celebrate DC. Like I said, that's why I said 2020 DC fandom. It's counting down to the Snyder Cut coming out and just celebrating what's good about DC on top of that. And now we're here. We're trying to get back to that feeling. SnyderVerse, and y'all can do whatever y'all want over there, right? But let's go with what works, man. And I believe the Saudis are going to do it. I believe they're the key. They are the key. Oh, it's a new picture. Let me see if I can find it real quick before we close. Let's see. Got a new lantern picture. Let's see. Lantern. I can't. Got too much on my screen. Hold on. All right. Lanterns. So now they're showing some green. Gunn. James Gunn. Oh man. Let me pull it up here. Oh my goodness. Like what? This is supposed to be hot, right? This is supposed to sell it. Okay, Gunn, you got some green. Okay. What we think? What we think, guys? You should have had this in the trailer. I guess that's one thing. There's green in it. Oh man. That's a mild green. Hey, Gunn's trying, right? He's trying to. After the showrunner was making fun of just the comic book genre, and the trailer had no green at all. Now they want to show, oh, see, that's green, see? And that's Jon Stewart, I guess, holding the lantern, charging his ring. Okay. Yeah, the teaser should have been this. It's just bad marketing again from DC. Oh my goodness, man. I mean, I'm sorry, man. We saw an entire trailer of footage, and you could have showed just one shot. And again, I want to see the aura. That's what I want to see when I watch Green. It's got to feel magical. It has to be more than what Gunn is showing so far. This is a desperate attempt, again, by James Gunn. Battery looking faded. Wonder why it should be connected to the main battery on OA. Well, yeah, you can have those portable lanterns. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that concept. It's kind of too little, too late, man. Because like someone said, it's probably gonna be like just 2 shots of this. The rest of it's gonna be doing walking around, sitting in bars. Like this is the pictures they're releasing. People sitting in bars and talking. I want to see some flying. I want to see some green aura. The CW, I keep saying this, but the CW did it better. They had Alan Scott's daughter in Stargirl, and she had more aura than anything the Lanterns are doing. And that's the sad reality that we're at. That's the sad reality that CW has handled the Lanterns better. And we can only blame James Gunn. He's supposed to be the guy, the know-it-all. You know, I read 1,000 comics. Look, we're reading comics on the set, but he didn't use anything from the comics really in Superman 2025. But he's the comic guy. Okay. That's a joke, man. And just honestly, DC fans deserve better. We deserve a magical escape. That's what DC is supposed to be. Gods among men and myths, legends, not just everyday next door neighbor type people. No. You can't stand in a room with a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, or Lanterns, or Flash. Again, gods among men. This is just normal, ordinary type stuff, man. That's where we're at. So let's catch up here. I got like 5 more minutes. I thought I had that shot of CW Lantern, which had all the aura that you could want, but I think I lost my shot. Let's see. Let me try to find it real quick, because it's a shame that again the TV seemed to have done it better. I don't think I got the shot, so we ain't gonna waste too much time on that. Y'all know the Stargirl episode I'm talking about. All right, let's get to the last few comments here before we close on out. We got green and lanterns. See, that's what Gunn can say. Now, see. I got green, guys. Oh, man. Oh, here it is. I found the shot. I stalled long enough. You see this aura on CW? That's all they had to do was just, she got the lantern right there too. That's all they had to do was just get some aura. See, we're not just saying this to be mean. We're like, we have examples. Like, okay, oh, now you got a little green. This is, you see the aura, eyes turn green. It's like, that's what a lantern is supposed to feel like. Wow, that's wild right there. That is wild. That's wild right there. How I met my lantern. This shouldn't be a comparison to an HBO show, unless this HBO show really didn't want to do a real lantern show. Then the question is, why are we making this then? What are we doing? And we only could blame James Gunn. So, with that said, I ran down the upcoming schedule. Again, free comic book day Saturday. So go to your local comic book shop, support them. I got some variant covers to pick up, and maybe I'll talk to. I'll probably show it to the members Monday. I'll show you what I picked up with the comics and everything like that. So, Coffee Talk Thursday. Let's see. The lantern in the still photo looks turquoise, not emerald. Turquoise is wild. Shout out to Salty Frieza. Appreciate you. Overall, so like I said, Thursday Coffee Talk, Saturday show, it'll be pre-recorded this week. This would have been the week we opened the panel, but since we're not going to be live, we can't do it. So first week of every month, we open the panel. So we'll do that. Members Monday, check out the Patreon as well. Much love to Silk Nation. James Gunn, you have 1 calendar year left. We're here to count it down. Paramount, do the right thing. We out.
Stay tuned.
Sylabdul ink through speak true as he bring the news. Coffee talk, stay brew, kick back, get real comfortable. Here to stay, no on delay, make sure I be's informed. On the road, on the go, playing ball on that pavement floor. It's the lifestyle right now, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Guaranteed all week's going to always be on time. That's my word, y'all heard from Il Divino Vega's mouth. What's the worth? Much more than what these networks talk about.